Hi and welcome to HR Sigma Path. So in this video, we will be looking out what moonlighting is. Moonlighting means when an employee takes up another job or project or source of income outside their primary employment. So typically without informing or obtaining approval from their main employer. So in simple terms, so it's a working two jobs at the same time, one official and one-sided, hidden or freelancing. So often violating company policy, confidentiality clauses, or employment contracts. So now, uh, there are few type of moonlights. We'll start from full-time plus part-time moonlights. So the employee works a full-time job during the day and takes up a part-time or a freelance job in the evening or on weekends. So here in this example, there is a software engineer at one company takes a freelance programming work for another small IT company over the weekends. So they work on code modules for the company's app project and receive payment through a personal account. So why it's a problem? So most full-time employment contracts explicitly prohibit outside employment. So it's a conflict of interest because the engineer could use company's tool, code libraries, or ideas from their employer. It can even risk intellectual property leakage if similar technologies are used. In this case, HR can take actions as a show cause notice (SCN) issued for clarification. If evidence is clear, termination under the violation of employment terms or conflict of interest. So some big firms have zero tolerance for such cases. So now freelancing and or consulting moonlight. So in this case, if the employee continues full-time employment but also offers consulting or a freelance professional service on the side, often to another firm or client in the same field. So here, in this scenario, an HR executive working for a private bank starts doing the freelance recruiting for another financial service company. So they earn commission from sourcing candidates, all done secretly without telling their primarily employer. So it's a clear conflict of interest, using skills or data learned from one employer to benefit another. So they might share candidate database, salary benchmark, or internal recruitment tools, and it creates a data privacy risk. So HR can mark this as a ethical misconduct or conflict of interest case. So if this issue confirmed, it usually results in termination or blacklisting from the industry, especially in BFSI or HROs. Now, dual employment moonlighting. So, in this, the employee is officially on the payroll of two organizations at the same time. So, both paying salaries and depositing PF contribution. So, here, suppose there is a finance analyst working for some bank, but he also appears on a payroll of fintech startup at the same time. So both jobs have active employment contracts, one weekend, weekday, and one remote overlapping. So it's a direct violation of employment law and contract. So creates legal taxation and PF duplication issues. So both companies may unknowingly pay for same person a full time. So especially critical in the banking or a data sensitive roles. So HR can catch this type of issue through the UN Universal Account Number. Checks the PF records show the dual deposits, background verification during internal audit or the future hiring, or ESIC or PAN trace also show the dual employer. So in this case, HR can immediately issue the suspension investigation by the compliance. Then proof of dual payroll equals to the termination with cause. The company may notify authorities, especially in financial sectors, and the person may lose gratuity, PF settlement, and the future employability. Now there is a startup or own business moonlight. So in this, an employee runs or co-founds a side business or a startup. So while being employed full time in another organization. So here, there is in this example, there is a marketing manager at a large FMCG firm starts an online clothing brand during office hours. So they handle orders, social media marketing, and product launches while still on the payroll of their employer. So it is a very problematic issue where there is a dividend loyalty because employees' focus drifts from one company goes to another, and the company's confidential marketing strategies may indirectly benefits their personal business. So how HR detects it? So social media or business listing, because employee can post on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Shopify to promote their business, or background verification, because in tax return audit it can reveal the secondary by the secondary income. So in this case, HR can issue the warning letter or the termination depending on the business overlap. And if it's a like a competitive business, it treated as a conflict of interest again. Then, if done transparently with approval, sometimes HR allows it under the limited non-conflict conditions. Now there is another moonlighting, which is academic or teaching moonlighting. In this, an employee teaches or conducts training sessions outside their main employment, often without the prior approval. So here in this example, there is a data analyst conducts a paid weekend workshop on Excel and data visualization without informing their company. So if company policies state no outside work, it's a breach, regardless of timing. So it may violate the non-compete clause, or especially if training involves the company tools or case studies. So risk of IP or data sharing, if they use company's example or data in teaching material. And HR can detect this using the social media post promoting their workshop and institute advertisement tagging the trainer's company. So HR can detect with those things, and they can take an action by first of all, their first step would be HR issues a warning if it is done unknowingly, and then repeated offenses or data leaks, then a formal disciplinary action will be taken. Then in some companies, especially in IT or BFSI, even academic moonlighting is a strictly prohibited without written consent. So now there are few tickets which are usually raised under moonlighting. So first is ethics and code of conduct violation. In this, engaging in paid external work without the approval of or from the employer. So first, what the HR takes action is that firstly they issue a SCN, which is show cause notice, and if in the case employee failed to justify the action, termination for the breach of integrity. Then company lists the case under ethical misconduct or unauthorized secondary employment for audit reporting. Then the second one is conflict of interest. So here performing freelance recruitment for a competitor in the same business sector or the same industry. So first HR will then the second ticket, which is usually raised by the employer, which is conflict of interest, in which performing freelancing for a competitor in the same business sector. So first, internal audit found misuse of candidate database, and then employee suspended for investigation, later terminated for the breach of trust. So it is flagged as a conflict of interest or recruitment or any other freelancing for competitor firm, and noted it in the compliance records. Then the third is information security breach, which is an unauthorized use of company hardware, tools, or data for personal projects. So first, the device confiscated for forensic audit. There they check whether it is used for their personal use or not, and then if found multiple external project files, contract is terminated. Then it is marked as security violation, unauthorized use of company systems in compliance logs. Then there is a dual employment detection, in which employee receiving salaries from two organizations under one UAN. So here both employers notified, then immediate suspension and termination by bank for dual payroll violation, then employee's name added to the internal blacklisting system. Then here it is reported as dual employment payroll overlap detected. So with audit trail maintained by future legal references. So these are the few tickets which are raised under moonlighting. So yeah, that is it. If you have any other topics to learn about or to know about, please comment down below in the comment section. And you can also subscribe, like, and like comment anything if you want to add on in this topic. So we will happy to help you on that. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for further details.